President Biden's values and agenda won big across the country last night. In Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and in Virginia, voters once again sided with President Biden's agenda to stand up for fundamental freedoms and build an economy for the middle class and protect democracy. Now let's turn to Ohio for a second. On the heels of an attempt to weaken voters' voices at the ballot box in August, the people of Ohio voted decisively last night to make reproductive care a constitutional right in their state. Ohio is now the seventh state where voters turned out in droves to reject attempts by Republican elected officials to impose extreme abortion bans since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And from Kentucky to Virginia to Pennsylvania, voters in those states also turned out to roundly reject abortion bans that jeopardize the health and the lives of women, force women to travel hundreds of miles for care, and threaten to criminalize doctors and nurses. The stakes could not have been higher. And last night, voters sent a very, very clear message. We have always said that voting matters and polls do not. Our focus is going to remain on our work to grow the economy, lower costs for families, and protect fundamental freedoms against dangerous agendas that are out of touch with the American people. Now I want to turn to what's going to happen at 2 o'clock today. Domestic Policy Advisor Neera Tanden will brief the American Jewish community on the ongoing implementation of the national strategy to counter anti-Semitism, including the administration's response to the rise of anti-Semitic incidences on college campuses. We continue to see an alarming trend of anti-Semitic threats and attacks targeting Jewish communities across the country, disturbing acts like ripping down posters of Jewish held hostages by Hamas, vandalizing Jewish institutions, threatening to commit acts of violence against Jewish students, Jewish faith leaders, and Jewish communities inflame tensions, stoke fear, and are completely unacceptable. The president strongly condemns these brazen acts of anti-Semitism and has repeatedly made clear targeting Jews because of their beliefs or their identity is unacceptable. Make no mistake, we will continue to speak out against hate of every dimension. And that is why just last week you heard from this administration. The president and vice president announced that the administration will develop the first U.S. national strategy to counter Islamophobia in the United States. Anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and other forms of hate have no place in America, and we strongly condemn anyone who seeks to harm Jewish, Muslim, Arab, and Palestinian American or any other communities, and we will certainly continue to speak out.